friends, once again Scotty here. Today we are driving something very special, the 2019 Lexus LC500H Hybrid Coupe. Yeah, I really like this thing. The deal is that I co-sponsored a tour with Hagerty last weekend, and I asked them to, ask Lexus, what do you have that I could borrow that we could lead the tour with? And, well, look what showed up. I am really taken with this car. I think it is extraordinarily beautiful. We'll go ahead and start it, if starting is indeed what you would say. Basically, you activate it, and the battery pack comes alive. In a few moments, the air conditioning activates, the stereo activates. In a few moments, if it needs to, the gasoline engine will start. There it went. There are two versions of this car that Lexus makes. There's the hybrid version, which we're driving today. They also make one with a 5-liter V8 of 471 horsepower with a 10-speed automatic. Pardon me. It's a little bit cheaper than this one. The base price is a little bit cheaper, about $3,000 or $4,000. This is a 3.5-liter VVT double overhead cam V6. It has 354 total horsepower, including the electric motors and all that stuff. It has a combined MPG of 30, 27 in the city and 35 on the highway. I didn't get quite that, but of course, a car like this begs to be driven kind of aggressively. I will tell you that we took it on the tour, that everybody that looks at this thing just kind of loses their mind over it because it is so fantastic looking. It looks like a concept car. Yesterday I was at Conroe High School speaking to a group of auto shop students, and we brought it in the shop for the kids to look at and sit in, and again the kids just went crazy for this thing. It looks like it is a high-performance sports car, but that is not exactly how I would categorize it. Now, the one thing that I'm not real crazy about is Lexus has got this touchpad thing here on the console, and I find myself kind of resting my hand there. On a couple occasions I found myself tuning the radio and doing other things that I didn't intend to. So you pull the shifter over and down, and now we're in drive mode. My friend Nathan Teslar and I had a discussion about this car on our radio show several days ago, and actually, Nathan drove this before I did. I had an opportunity to drive it one time just for a few minutes. In a 5-minute drive, you really can't get a sense of a car, in my opinion. And Nathan said, you know, I wouldn't call this thing a sports car. And, you know, I would have to agree with him. I would call this a GT car. You know, it competes price-wise with, like, the Nissan GT-R and the Porsche 911, but those are very different kind of cars. This is what I would call a gentleman's sports car, if you will. There are multiple driving modes. We're in normal mode now, and you see when you push it, it kind of goes okay. And if we dial it up a couple of notches, that's Sport and then Sport Plus, it really makes a dramatic difference in the way the car reacts. I've seen a lot of other cars that when you dial them up a mode or two, that there are some differences, but it's not, you know, super pronounced. With the Lexus, it is super pronounced, folks. I mean, very nice. The acceleration is not blinding. It's what I would call adequate. But again, I guess I would categorize this as a gentleman's sports car. It's probably not a car for the person that wants that, you know, bare-knuckled, you know, balls to the wall kind of sports car experience. But if you're the kind of guy like me and you drive a lot on the highway and you gobble up a lot of miles, man, what a phenomenal car for that. It also has what my wife calls the sissy bars on the door and on here. The interior is extraordinarily beautiful. It has heated and cooled seats. The audio system, as in every other Lexus I've tested, is absolutely awesome. We'll dial the performance mode back a little bit because this is a gentleman's car. We don't need to go screaming around corners and all that to prove that this thing has its bona fides. It is not cheap. As tested, this thing's like $106,000 is my recollection. I'm not going to pull the window sticker down and look at it. So, you know, it's a pretty rarefied air. But gosh, there's nothing on the road that looks like this thing. I mean, it looks like a concept car. It's beautiful from every angle. And I guess the closest thing that I can compare it to would be maybe like a classic Jaguar E-Type. I don't think there's anything in modern memory that I can think of that made this kind of styling impact on me. I think that you know, it's not a car for everybody, and that may be the issue here, is who is Lexus's intended target. If you're going to spend $100,000 or better on a GT car or a sports car, is Lexus what immediately comes to mind. And for most people, it is going to be something like the Nissan GT-R or the Porsche 911 or any of a number of other worthy competitors. So I'm not sure that Lexus is going to sell a lot of these things, but maybe that's okay. I mean, for the folks that buy these things, wow, look at what they get. I mean, it's extraordinarily beautiful. It is superbly comfortable. I have a little trouble climbing in and out. It's a little tight getting in and out, but once I get in the car, it is absolutely phenomenally comfortable for me. Performance is not bad, you know. I'd be curious to drive the V8 powered car to see how it does. But again, Lexus, you've done an excellent job. And the thing that really most impresses me with this car more than anything, and I guess I should regress a little bit and say the Lexus quality is evident everywhere. If you look at this interior, every seam is perfect. Everything fits perfectly. There's no squeaks, no rattles, no air noise, no anything. But the thing that really impresses me with this car more than anything is just how extraordinarily beautiful that it is. I've read some reviews on the internet, and some people said the styling is polarizing. Folks, I disagree. Everybody that I've shown this car to just thought it was gorgeous. I haven't heard a single negative thing about the styling. I want to remind you guys of a couple of things. You may be already listening, but we do Tales from the Garage every Saturday from noon to 2 p.m. and 5 to 7 p.m. with the three stooges of the automotive world, myself, Scotty Gibson, and my two co-hosts, Nathan Taslar and Jesus Garcia. Nathan calls in from the Netherlands every week, and Jesus from South Texas, and we talk about automotive news. We play some great music, and we cut up a little bit. I always say that cars and music go together like pancakes and syrup. If you have the kind of dough that it takes to buy a car like this, I would say that the Lexus LC500H or the LC500 is going to be a very exclusive type of car. If you go to the country club or the golf club or wherever rich people are going to hang out, since I'm not one, I don't know where that would be. But if you go to those kinds of places, this is going to be the kind of car that's going to get you valeted right in the front door. And if you care about such things, but even more importantly, if you care about driving and you drive long distances and you like to be comfortable and you like wonderful sounds and you want to be extremely stylish doing it, well, the Lexus LC500 and LC500H is the car for you. Lexus, thank you for the loan. I hate to hand the keys to this one back over, but we're onward and upwards to the next car.